Out of all the criticisms that are out that my parents have given me and my family, I'm beginning to see that this really is taking a heavy toll on me. It's what I call like a double hit on me because first time I got my bike stolen. Second, my family is pouncing on me about the situation, calling me terrible. And I do concede, sure, like I gave those kids $100 in the footage, and I did act pretty naive, assuming that they'd come with the bike. But the only problem with this is that my parents are converging on that alone and using it as an olive branch to criticize me without actually looking at the other details of the whole situation. And that were revealed later. And the heavy weight of the situation is much more. The paradoxical thing is that I withheld my other 100, and because of that, I was able to pull out a lot of information regarding those people. They couldn't keep their mouths shut, so to speak, like that. But the main thing that beyond the crime I'm seeing here is that whenever things hit the fan in my family, like this isn't even about the police report anymore, is that my family doesn't just emotionally comfort me. Like, I get it, but they're criticizing me for my actions in the footage, for not staying put, even though it could have been risky. I missed out on other details, and honestly, out of all the documenting I did, the police situation and the stolen bike at this point, when talking about my family, just becomes background catalyst, but it reveals like how my family treats me whenever things go wrong. And even if they mean it well, it's all hardlined, I would say it to be. I mean, I even demanded respect from my dad, even as he was criticizing me, and he went even harder on me for that matter. And I just decided to hang up after that tense conversation. And he said something that did really hurt me is that, quote unquote, I know you, son. I said back, no, you don't. And he just kept going on. Even my mom, too, said that I'll be dead on the streets and that I'll be a nobody because of the streets. And then I told my dad to please treat me with respect and calm down as you're criticizing me. Respect me as like who the person I'm going to be in the future, though I'm still a little bit dumb. Quote unquote, he said, what the hell? And even my sister said the police isn't going to do much. My brother said to stay put and he'll pick me up. My father argued that I'm making bad choices by walking to the PD. My mom was just pure hysterical, Homelander hysterical, and said I'm just a reckless person. Like, I am being metaphorically criminalized for having a crime committed upon me. Though I still made absolutely terrible decisions, yes, there's still so much hopelessness that I'm sensing in like my family right here. Like, it's one thing to get robbed of an expensive bike, but it's another thing to first berate me and like criticize the thing. And it's just this is at this point like the giver's version of sameness in my family. It's so hopeless, what I'd say. And it's crazy because from that 1440 Foothill Boulevard to the Upland Police Department, it takes like an hour and 10 minutes to get there. I made it by walking in just 40 minutes, and some change too. Earn and walk, as even my battery was dying too, even as my parents said no. Truth be told, had they picked me up, they would have sent me home. So, as I said, that was its own crucible, at least in my family. And I was being told like I wasn't worth it, not something's gonna happen to me. Like, this is gonna happen. Even as I was walking there, I felt it was like its own passage, so to speak. But at this point, I'm saying that this is far beyond a someone stole my bike thing and they filed a police report. And it changes to why my parents won't hand me emotional comforts. And to be honest, I'm reaching a point where I literally cannot handle this. Like, toll is heavy, not because my bike is gone, but because my parents are not giving me any, emotional trust. Like, I feel like they're valuing the currency lost for the bike over me as a person. I'm just feeling that. Like, I know they do have real advice, like don't give random people $100, and I'm not gonna repeat that same thing again. And don't negotiate, sure, but they're saying all of this from a place of pure fear, without actually acknowledging other important details, and not because they don't actually care, but because they don't realize what it took for me to survive in the moment while I was there. I do have older videos I'll post about how my parents acted times before, but I'm beginning to think in my family that I'm in, although it is structurally excellence for holding money, helping me to grow up as a person classically, and holding me for good sake. But emotionally rotting this family is, from the inside, I would say, beyond the police report. So for anyone curious though, the serial number for my bike is EA59287, a large Cannondale Bike Adventure 2 version. And if it's at a pawn shop, if you guys see it in a car or something, if you see it around here, then just let me know. And new updates beyond, my parents are that today, after a few calls, I was finally able to describe the situation of the details I can't reveal with an officer over the phone. And though he said the county that I'm in is not under local jurisdiction, I was able to solve it over the phone. And, I gave him the license plate numbers, all the important, details and numbers too, and the descriptions and everything. Though it was really tense around my mom. I can't say full details for sure because this is a police investigation. And I cooperated with the officer. I got the case number, and I was able to turn in the footage evidence to the officer that through a link that I again cannot reveal because this is a police investigation. And, I did successfully get the serial number from contacting REI, so that's good on that part. So I was so nervous all day, but I'm glad that finally I get to rest my case because, I've uploaded all my information. I've done my own edited testimony. And the footage, although I might be questioned for specific details and all, but I still have a case number. We still have evidence of crimes. But massive thanks to the Upland PD for handling my slight nuisance and constantly calling them. But, thanks for taking in my massive evidence to the supporting officers. And thanks for offering the necessary tools to upload evidence and do all this stuff, though. Though I might never get my bike back per se if it's not found. I'm glad that today, I stood up for myself, even in the wrath of my own family, submitted the evidence, and did my duty to the police. So it's on the wheels of justice now to do this job after me. But one can say that this is our first football touchdown. This is our first baseball home run when getting involved with the authorities in a good way. We got the evidence, we did all of this, and that's good. All right, that's a home run. That'll be out of the park. That'll be a touchdown never seen in history before. But out of the metaphors, the wheels of justice, now that there's footage and that we've cleared all the metaphorical bases and hit a solo home run, despite my family's fears. But I know the web can't fully answer this. Is that why does my family gotta be a secondary firing squad? I lost my bike. Now they're trying to strip my heart away.